Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make Ravey Garage in the style of Overmono, mainly inspired by the track So You Kno. The project file, samples and presets are available for a small contribution in the description. However, as the vocal sample is from Splice, you'll have to download it separately. If you like the style, then check out my UK Garage Breaks pack, which I released back in July if you haven't done so already, and please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Our BPM is 130 and we're in the key of A sharp minor. This is the kick. The kick feels very textured, which works well for this style. We have the drums group. First, we have the breakbeat snare. Usually, I prefer to layer rim shots with break snares, as I do in my break slicing video, but I made this from a breakbeat snare layered with an electronic snare. Next, we have 3 hi-hats in a drum rack, 2 open hats, and a closed hat. The 2 open hats are made from the same sample, but open hat 2 is shorter and tighter. I used this technique in my last video, and it's an effective way of varying your hi-hats. The hats are in a choke group, and the channel has been panned, as have the rest of the channels in the group. So this is the hats. Then we have the shaker. The clave. All the MIDI in the group has this triplet feel MPC swing applied. Then we have this Foley ride, which I made by layering a metallic Foley hit with a ride cymbal. This has also been panned too. On the drums group, we have drum bus and EQ with reverb applied via Send A, which is this basement preset. Next, we have the bass. The harmonic rhythm of the MIDI pattern is more comparable to If You Ever, although If You Ever uses a stabby bass. We have a saw wave taken down by 2 octaves and a low pass filter with its cutoff turned down and drive increased. In the FX, we have distortion and another filter, which is just to add more drive. On the channel, we have a utility monoing below 300 Hz, EQ, drum bus with the compressor activated for consistency, and a sidechain compressor triggered by the kick. Reverb is applied via A. Then we have the effects. The noise was made in Serum. using the Air Can 5 noise with distortion, hyperdimension, delay, and EQ in the effects. And then there's the vinyl crackle, which adds some extra ambience. On the group, we have reverb via A. This is the pads. The MIDI pattern is comprised of repeated dotted eighth notes, which creates a jaunty rhythmic phrase that is 3 bars in length instead of 2 or 4. Overmono uses similar off-kilter rhythmic patterns for the pad in So U Kno. I haven't 100% nailed the sound, so this is just my interpretation. We have a saw wave with the unison at 16 and an amp envelope with a relatively slow attack. I'm modulating the cutoff of a low pass filter with this sine shaped envelope in LFO1. In the effects, we have some mild distortion, another filter with the cutoff taken down to darken the sound, and reverb. On the channel, we have overdrive, EQ, and drum bus to add warmth. As the pad in So U Kno, it sounds very warm and analog, plus an auto pan modulating volume, not panning, to create some more dynamics. Overmono pan the pad in So U Kno, but that's not something that I've done here. Finally, we have the vocals. Overmono don't do different repitches of the same vocal sample in So U Kno, which seems to be just one sample pitched up a few semitones, whereas what I've done here is pitch around and cut up 2 different samples from the same vocalist. For example, some of these have been pitched up 3 or 5 semitones. I've used Complex Pro and played with the formant to try and get the different chops as close in timbre as possible, whilst trying to preserve the repitching present in the inspiration track. If I switch between Complex and Complex Pro, you can hear what I mean. The rhythm of the cuts is very much inspired by So U Kno. The purpose of the inserts on the channel is to make the vocal sound dirtier, since the original samples sound very clean and auto-tune. The saturator and overdrive add grit, as does the drum bus. The auto pan adds some inconsistency in volume, and the chorus detunes slightly, counteracting the effect of the auto-tune in some ways. Reverb is applied via send A. And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.